was studying my GCSEs at St Louis Kilkeel, I had the stereotype that a lot of people in IT sat at computer screens writing code all day, so I wasn't one of those people who always wanted a career in IT. In fact, I had actually no idea what I wanted to do. Then I decided to take part in a Fujitsu project which involved investigating and researching the future of IT, and this led to 5 days work experience in the Belfast office. This was fantastic, as the variety of jobs and roles in IT was a revelation to me, and I soon discovered how social it was when working with clients and assessing the requirements, which was something that was really important to me, as I'm quite a talkative person, and interacting with customers and suppliers is something that I really wanted to get involved in. I took IT, Business Studies and English at A-level, and then began a business management degree at Queen's. As I am quite interested in business and IT, and Fujitsu's industrial placement was always at the back of my mind as a route into the IT industry. I really had life experience of their culture and values, and I really like that customers are at the heart of everything that they do. Now I work in service delivery management with the Post Office home phone and broadband service. Learning about networks and telecoms has been challenging. However, I have found it thoroughly enjoyable. Believe me, I never thought I would be explaining technical things to others, but I soon realised good communicators are a vital bridge between the technical experts and the customers in the IT industry. Many different career paths and opportunities have opened up for me now, and I get to play an active part in shaping my future, as personal development is really encouraged at Fujitsu. I expressed an interest in project management and was then given a project which involves delivering weekly update reports to the Post Office and working with TalkTalk to make sure the project is on track. For me, this is very much a journey, and I'm still learning every day. My advice to current students would be, if someone offers you an amazing opportunity and you're not sure you can do it, say yes and then learn how to do it later. A lot of people have the impression that going into a job or placement, they expect you to know everything already, which can seem intimidating. That's not the case at all. Companies like Fujitsu are looking for someone who has a passion for learning and who is willing to take on any opportunities that come their way.
I studied Business and Information Technology at university and really enjoyed the technology side of the course in particular. Following my studies, I joined a 12-week Technology Graduate Academy at City in Belfast. This approach really works and helped me learn IT languages such as SQL and Java in greater depth. The Technology Academy covered a lot of content, not only in IT, but also in capital markets and teamwork soft skills. I found the training course to be very enjoyable and a fantastic way to make a transition into a career. There were 26 students on the programme, and there was a support among all the participants. I joined the Service Management Reporting team in October 2015. Being an IT graduate within production support in City, there are 2 rotations to complete, and Service Management Reporting was my first. I was involved in project management and development of new and improved dashboards, interacting with many different teams, getting a top-level overview of their work. Currently, I am on the Risk Treasury and Finance Desk support team. Our applications are used globally, so while I work primarily with the London Finance Desk, other members of our team are based in the USA and Shanghai, supporting the finance desks based there. What I have learned from my time at City is how to take on more challenges. There are a lot of projects to get involved with, and with online training material and courses available, there are always opportunities for professional development. The IT sector is also a very easy industry to move between projects. This means there are always exciting new opportunities coming up. I would suggest that a graduate considering a career in IT should look for work experience or a placement to make the most of the opportunities out there. I have found in my time here that teamwork is of paramount importance in how this company operates, and the ability to effectively communicate, cooperate and integrate with a team are traits that would benefit any candidate, not only in City but in any path they choose. Also, an avid interest for the job would be of great help. For example, I work in technology, so keeping up to date with the latest advances in that field can be a great help in this role. Reflecting on my time at City so far, I have learned so much and have been presented with opportunities that I would have never even thought of, which in turn has been a big boost to my confidence.
I had a flair for ICT at GCSE, but was also wary. I was too scared I would get stuck in the same office doing the same old thing endlessly. I imagined myself working outside, perhaps a vet, but after some training and a few harsh placements, the reality soon put me off. Feeling lost, I noticed on the Job Centre NI website that ICT apprenticeships were available in a vocational setting, and when I took the first step to apply, I started this journey towards my career as an infrastructure engineer. Working within the infrastructure management team at Sopra Steria, I have met a wide range of fantastic people, and there's a terrific spirit of cooperation. Every day you learn more. My move in the ICT has been much more rewarding than I could ever have expected. Now I work as a junior infrastructure engineer. I am treated as a full member of the Belfast infrastructure team working on health service-based contracts. I have seen our IT systems in action in A&E and it was very rewarding as I really saw how we were helping people and making a real difference. The educational strand at Belfast Met has been really important too, and when I graduate with an infrastructure foundation degree, I'll have a qualification that is recognised in the industry, something else that can help secure my future career. It has been so enjoyable to actually feel like I'm moving forward and making progress, and that my skills can also be of benefit to others.
I was given loads of freedom at home, spending time outside creating and building things, so a boring indoor job was never going to be for me. It was Mrs McQueen at the library in Ballymena Academy who suggested an OCR Level 2 qualification in system support. I'd been introduced to IT when it was replaced by compulsory Latin in first year, but I particularly enjoyed the challenges of system support. It involved troubleshooting, which can include physically taking apart a computer, finding and fixing the problem, and rebuilding it. I've always found this hands-on work very satisfying and rewarding. I progressed to Level 3 and applied for an apprenticeship with Nitec Solutions. They're a small business based in Antrim who offer island-wide IT support and are partnered with Hewlett-Packard and Microsoft. I had no idea what to expect, but I was soon learning how to set up and configure computers for business customers and was also involved with a custom server build. I love the challenge of working things out, and when you use your initiative, finding solutions is easier than you think. No 2 days are the same, as you're always dealing with different issues and working with different teams, so there's no chance of you getting bored. My advice is, don't be afraid to try something new. I'm 3 years down the line, and for me it's definitely been the right decision. Opportunities are expanding all the time, and the best surprise of all is the work is so enjoyable.
I was first introduced to IT at Key Stage 3 level from memory. Feels like a lifetime ago now. But yeah, then it kind of progressed. It was just a compulsory subject then, and I then picked it for GCSE. My secondary school actually was a specialist in IT, so that allowed me to go on and study double award in that, and yeah, just from the get-go kind of really enjoyed it, and there was loads of variety in it as well, so kept me on my toes. Yeah, I think just whenever I kind of came out of my A-levels, I never really knew exactly what I wanted to do. So there was always the idea of business with IT or something a bit more hands-on. And it was my teachers in school that had kind of helped shape the decision on here's the things you're good at and here's how we can marry that up to a degree. I studied interactive multimedia design at Ulster University, and the idea behind that was because it had quite a variety in the subject, and it was a bit of a hybrid between design and development. And because at that time I wasn't entirely sure of exactly what I wanted to do, that suited me quite well. Yeah, so interactive multimedia design pretty much encompasses design for web and a wee bit of software development as well. So there was quite a mix of different subjects, and I remember animation being one of those as well. So it kind of opened a whole lot of doors, and it was almost that you had a bit of experience in all of them, and then it was your opportunity then to become, a bit more experienced in one of those, and you could decide what you wanted to take on from there. So in third year of university, you have the opportunity then to go out into the work place as such, and I applied for quite a few different places, and the one that I decided to go with was a local company, and in fact a startup. And the idea behind that was because I would get a very good understanding of how the business operated rather than being in a very small confided role. And yeah, it just allowed me the opportunity to understand how business works, and particularly in the IT industry, which was fab. Yeah, so 360 Create, as it was merged with the Tomorrow Lab in 2015, so 2 years almost now. And After the transition, because it's a bigger company, each role was quite precise in what you were responsible for and what you done. And because I came from a place where I wore different hats, you know, you were a project manager, you were on the tools, you were providing training. I wanted something that wouldn't mean that I had to be stuck behind the desk all day, and that I could get out and chat to people and share my experiences. And so I'm in now more of an account management role, whereby I'm out helping clients with strategies and helping them implement those as well. And having the background of being on the tools is great, because you provide answers, you know, in real time, and rather than, you know, having to go back to a team and get the answers from there. So I've had brilliant opportunities to work with some really great companies, both local and global, and it's been fabulous. The reason I decided to go down the IT route was because, if I'm totally honest, whenever I was coming out of school, I had no idea exactly what I wanted to do. And because it provides so much variety, it was a no-brainer for me. And it's proven that, you know, I've been in design positions and development, and now more of a management position. And it just shows that there really is massive opportunity there. And for someone like me who doesn't completely know and have it really mapped out, then it worked really well.
I'm an IT recruiter by trade, and I worked for Reed and Diamond, and then when my young son was diagnosed with the autistic spectrum, I took a change in direction and studied a Masters in Autism and ended up in Specialist Earn. Specialist Earn is a social enterprise. It's in 13 countries. It's been going for 13 years, and it started in Denmark in 2004, and it was an IT manager who started it and saw that actually people on the spectrum have a lot of skills to bring to IT. He initially saw it in his young son, and now with people all across the world working in IT. And our goal is to have 1 million people in jobs who are on the autistic spectrum across the world. I first heard about Specialist Earn when I studied a Masters in Autism. I took a career break to find out what is this thing called autism, and I heard about Specialist Earn and noticed in, I think it was Irish News, that they were opening up in Dublin. And so I joined Specialist Earn in Dublin, was handed a Lego box and told go off and make an assessment for people on the autistic spectrum to get them a job ready, specifically for IT careers. And our client was SAP, a large international company. So after placing 10 people in SAP, I was given permission to bring the model up to Northern Ireland, and in April 2014 we opened in Skenos, and we've worked with over 300 adults on the autistic spectrum and young people as well, to help them get ready for careers in IT, secure careers and also thrive. Okay, so in order to contribute locally to helping 1 million people internationally secure jobs, we have looked at what are the parts of the problem as such of unemployment for people on the autistic spectrum. And part of that was helping companies feel comfortable and ready to recruit people who have different types of communication, whether that be they be on the autistic spectrum, or maybe they may come from a different country, helping companies employ diverse staff. And so we've worked out training modalities to do that. Our new modality is online, but also face-to-face with professional actors, acting out communication differences and helping people feel more comfortable about that, whether that be at interview or in the workplace, or maybe appointing a new team leader. How do you manage when that person communicates differently? As we've done our training, we've found out that actually companies are full of people who communicate differently, and a number of people have come forward and said, actually, this thing you talk about, autism, that describes my whole life, and yet they may be sitting in a senior management role. And that's information that schools often doesn't have. And so we're really recruiting people who are already in the sector and helping people, I suppose, really enjoy their full selves and full identity in work. So I love the IT sector. My background is in the IT sector, and as an IT recruiter, when I came to study autism and I studied the traits of autism, I recognised a lot of the traits of the people I had recruited to get into work, and maybe needed a little bit of help through the interview process. Simon Baron-Cohen in the University of Cambridge has done a lot of studies looking at the systemizer traits of people in the autistic spectrum and the systemizer traits of people in the IT sector, and the studies have aligned. There is a natural fit for people in the ICT sector for many people in the autistic spectrum, but we also meet many people in the spectrum who use those systemizer skills for other careers, whether it be makeup artist or film production or any other creative role as well. But yes, the skills of autism do align quite nicely to the skills needed for IT. We were really delighted to be included in Bring It On, invited by Belfast Met this year to be part of that, and we went to Cookstown and worked with Team Aspie, a group of young people, to help them discover the skills that they have and not just think, goodness, I'd like IT, but maybe I'd like a business analyst role, I'd like a software tester role, and looking at how, using Lego actually, building Lego robots together, we were able to detect patterns that would say perhaps one person you could consider this role in IT, and this is how you get ready for that.
I studied architecture at university, but the reality of finding a placement or a job was really tough. Then my dad forwarded me an email about an apprenticeship programme for IT. At first I was worried if I had the right skills and knowledge. My only real experience with IT was using architecture software and drawing and editing software. So I had a true fear of the unknown, and I was concerned I'd be working in front of a computer screen all day. I was soon to learn that a give-it-a-go approach was the only skill I needed. Working through a problem logically and using trial and error can actually be very enjoyable and satisfying, and having the help and support of my employers, Wrightbus Limited, it has been a thoroughly rewarding experience. I joined Wrightbus as a technical support assistant, but now I'm working as a database administrator. It might sound not very exciting, but it is very interesting, with lots of opportunities, with big data and the cloud becoming important new concepts in the IT industry. There is a lot more teamwork than I imagined, with lots of opportunity to learn off others and get involved in projects that really help the Wrightbus business. There is also good crack along the way. Now I can appreciate the technical and creative side of IT, finding solutions to problems and discovering the true joy in fixing things. IT is a very wide church, and your skills may be a closer fit than you think if you start to look into a career in the IT industry. Even later in life, don't rule it out. I only made the change at 26, bringing some skills with me, but also learning lots of new ones along the way. You learn to stay calm, developing solutions to problems and growing your skills sets very quickly. I actually feel like I'm making career progress and really getting somewhere. Why don't you consider an IT apprenticeship? It's never too late.
Well, I was actually really scared of computers until I was about 16 years old. And then I heard about how computers basically won us World War II, and about Alan Turing and all his code-breaking efforts. So that encouraged me to want to study computing and make a difference. And then I realised that I was one of very few females in my class, so that just drove me on further, because I wanted to take the road less travelled. So I studied a bachelor's in computer science at Queen's University, and then I did a master's in cybersecurity at the same place, which was a year long. So I studied the bachelor's because it just looked really interesting, and I wanted to stay at home for university. I heard about the cybersecurity degree through the professors who were at Queen's already. They were promoting it because it hadn't been going for very long, and they wanted to encourage people to apply. I didn't think I could do it because I'd already applied for a master's in computer science, but I was able to switch courses because I proved I was good enough and that I really was passionate about the subject. I'm a data analyst and programmer at Rapid7, so half of my day is coding and half of my day is cybersecurity. Some days I would sit with my headphones on and code, which suits me. On other days I would be communicating globally with teams across the world and within my own office, chatting to them about how we can make a difference. So there are loads of opportunities across the whole IT sector in Northern Ireland. There's everything from access courses to a software engineering master's at Queen's, which is 1 year, and you can go into it from any other discipline, so for example law, medicine. There's also the standard university courses at Queen's, so computer science, with additional masters in specialist subjects like bioinformatics and cybersecurity. Women Who Code is a global organisation that was founded in San Francisco. It's dedicated to supporting local women around the globe within cities, and we do that through monthly tech talks, hack nights, careers evenings. We ran a massive hackathon last year in Belfast, and we can be reached through the meetup group. If you're considering a career in IT at the moment, I would say to you, go for it. Don't be scared, take everything at your own pace. And everybody was a beginner at some stage, so just learn all you can.
So Bill, exciting times in the world of STEM. Tell us a little bit about what Sentinus does and the reaction you've received. Sentinus is all about engaging young people in practical science and technology, so it's actually getting young people doing science and engineering, and it's demonstrating to them the excitement of the subject, and ultimately we want to try and inspire them to continue to study the subjects at school and pursue careers in the area, and demonstrate to them that there are rewarding and worthwhile careers right across the STEM sector, because we're hearing about shortages of skills right across the STEM sector at the moment. So we're really about engaging the young people and inspiring them in science and engineering.
Now you're going right across Northern Ireland, visiting 120 schools. Tell us about some of the reactions you've had from pupils and from teachers.
Yeah, we've been promoting the IT sector with young people, primarily at sixth form level to those youngsters, and really trying to reach the youngsters who may not have considered a career in IT. They're very open to it because youngsters are very in touch with technology, they're very comfortable with technology, but a lot of them haven't had the opportunity to look behind the technology itself and look at the programming and the coding aspect of it. And that's really what we're trying to get to with this program, and trying to open up their minds to that as a potential career. They're very open to it, particularly when they hear the rewards and the opportunities that exist within Northern Ireland.
Teachers are under a very great deal of pressure, and in particular careers teachers are under pressure trying to keep up. Have they welcomed your visits?
Very much so. We've done a lot of work in this programme with careers teachers, with IT teachers, and with technology and science teachers as well. The careers teachers have a hugely difficult job in trying to keep pace with the changing world of work and the job opportunities that are out there for their young people. So they've welcomed us with open arms, because we're coming in with up-to-date information, giving their students knowledge about careers in a particular sector, and which will help those students make informed careers decisions. So we've been very welcomed by the schools.
So the schools, the teachers are happy, the careers departments are happy, the pupils are happy. Let's go one stage further and say, is there that perception in some families that if my son or daughter is doing dentistry, medicine, law, something like that, that's very prestigious?
There's no doubt that those professions still are held in very high esteem. And it's the old thing about doctors breeding doctors, and that's very true. And sometimes parents who've been through a traditional education route, they feel that is the route for that they're young, that is the gold standard. But what we're trying to promote to young people is that there's more than one route into very high value careers, and that information that we've been passing on through the presentations has included other routes, so they don't have to do A-levels and go to university. There are other routes into, and these are very valuable careers and offering great progression opportunities for young people, and very lucrative career opportunities as well.
So apprenticeships, foundation degrees, higher national diplomas and certificates are all options there. Now you mentioned income, because salary is very, very important, particularly when people are paying for education. They want to know what the rewards are. Comparatively, how do people in STEM subjects do?
Well, across the board, STEM subjects are fairly well paid. With the Bring It On campaign, we've been informing young people about the level of salaries in the IT sector in particular. And for example, a programmer, the average programmer in Northern Ireland is earning about 40,000 a year, and that compares very favourably. The average salary in Northern Ireland is 24,000 a year. So you can see that the salary in IT is pretty good in comparison.
Salary is very good, particularly in the starting off situation. But if we look at career development, what are the opportunities there?
Well, again, we hear almost on a weekly basis about new job opportunities in the IT sector being created in Northern Ireland, both by Indigenous companies and by inward investment companies. So that in itself says that there are career progression opportunities available for young people. I think what some of the IT companies at the moment would tell you, that we have a conveyor belt of people moving from company to company, and they want new blood in the system. Because there are the opportunities there. They have opportunities to expand if they can get the right skill sets from young people. So there are lots of progression opportunities for young people at the moment.
Exciting entry-level opportunities, exciting career development opportunities, and a very exciting time to be in the STEM
very
area.
much so. And the other, to look back at the education, the progression, or the entry routes into the sector, a lot of companies now are offering apprenticeships, higher level apprenticeships, which means that young people can go straight into employment. They don't have university fees. They're not losing out on earning potential for the duration of the degree, but ultimately they can end up with the same sort of qualifications. And the employers are getting the people they need at the same time with the skills they need. So that's a very attractive proposition. That's maybe more attractive for parents than it is for young people.
Absolutely, not to be saddled with £40,000 worth of debt or something like that. Exciting time.
Yes.
Thank you for the great work you're doing and congratulations.
Thank you, Ed.